we don't talk enough about the difference between being diagnosed early versus being diagnosed late. We use the same word, autism, and the lives, the pathways, adaptations, and the costs are really not the same at all. Those of us who were diagnosed late are not just autistic. We are misidentified survivors of a long, unsupervised negotiation with a world that never knew we needed support, and we didn't know how to ask and what to ask. So early diagnosis comes with intervention and language and framework, support plans, and maybe even community. Whereas late diagnosis often comes with burnout, trauma, with a long archive of internalized blame. I was diagnosed as an adult, very late diagnosed. I masked for decades, perfectly, I think, excessively and dangerously, because I had to, because no one around me could recognize autism if it wasn't loud, male, and visibly disoriented, because I was a girl, a brown girl, a high-functioning, overperforming, anxious to be acceptable girl. And now, I also know I am not alone. So many late diagnosed autistic women walk into a diagnosis not as a beginning, but as a post-mortem. We comb through years of friendships that failed without reason, careers that punished us for things we didn't understand we were doing wrong, sensory collapses we thought was just stress, nervous systems that have lived too long in overdrive, and minds that learn to hide their structure just to survive. Level 1 support needs don't just mean low support needs. They often mean we learn to internalize the labor, to absorb the system's failure, to recognize us, to pass, to overfunction, and boom, to crash. Early intervened autism and late discovered autism are different species of the same truth. One has scaffolding, whereas other has gnarly scars. And those of us with late diagnosed, often level 1 presentations, we're not just complex, we're often misread because of that complexity, because we are articulate and because we are outwardly competent, because we learn to explain things better than people were ready to hear. But being able to name our own suffering doesn't mean we're not suffering. So I think we need to stop pretending that late diagnosed autism is simply a delayed answer. It's an entirely different experience, and it deserves its own research, its own therapies, and its own language.